When they first told me that Jake was missing and it was in the bush, I had hope, that we could find him if he was in that bush somehow. But once they said, nope, we don't think he's in that bush anymore, the world became pretty big. Losing a child, it doesn't really matter how you lose a child. It's a very difficult thing because it affects, grandparents and parents and siblings and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends. And it's traumatized a whole bunch of people that I'd hoped, could have nice lives. Jake, I have to say, was an old soul. He just accepted people for who they were. He was very athletic. He loved nature. He loved fishing. He loved snowboarding and skateboarding. He would do things like save up all of his money that he had earned. He'd go to the Crow's Nest in Midland and he'd buy me what he thought was a diamond ring for my Christmas present or birthday, and I'd have to act so excited that he bought me a diamond ring, and it wasn't really diamonds. And he would do unique kinds of things like that, but it was a thought behind it. He was at school that day, and I'd come home about 6 o'clock. The boys were watching videos in the living room. Then about, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there, they started to get ready to leave. Jake had his black backpack with him, and I said to him, are you going to take a jacket? He said, it's really mild, I'm going to be fine. He had a long sleeve sweater, and I gave him a hug. Fortunately, I did say I loved him, so whatever happened, he knew that. And then he went out the door, and then by midnight, he was missing. Had I known, I just think I would never have let him go. I just would have held on to him, because having him know that I loved him was the most important thing. It was the night before a Halloween party, that people knew about it. They were going to have this bonfire and this bush party, and they were drinking around this big fire thing that everybody had going, and they were doing that activity where they were smashing the beer cans, and he hurt his head with one. So we went, I guess, see if he could get help, but nobody would let him in their houses. And he tried to get into a car, but they wouldn't let him. He wanted to go to the hospital, and they said no, the car was too full. The police have investigated most of those stories that are going around. Did Jake just see something that he shouldn't see? Did he stagger into something and they scooped him into the car and just drove him away? You can dump people in Ontario quite nicely. No one would ever find you, I would have hoped by now there's some piece of information, something, that could help break this case. But there isn't even a scrap that you could even get DNA from. There's not a missing shoe. His backpack was never found. There's just absolutely nothing. I have very high hopes that someday the people or the person that knows about Jake, they will come forward. They will give closure to my family, and they will do the right thing.